Welcome back. This is a dude with a brew. Thank you for stopping by. As I stated before, in Season 2, Episode 1 and 2, we're going to introduce a little bit of intellectual talk into our beer reviews. This today comes from the first page and a quarter of the second page from Mere Christianity, Book 1, the chapter titled The Law of Human Nature. Everyone has heard people quarreling. Sometimes it sounds funny, and sometimes it sounds merely unpleasant. But however it sounds, I believe we can learn something very important from listening to the kind of things they say. They say things like this: how'd you like it if anyone did the same thing to you? That's my seat. I was there first. Leave him alone. He isn't doing you any harm. Why should you shove in first? Give me a bit of your orange. I give you a bit of mine. Come on, you promised. People say things like that every day. Educated people as well as uneducated, and children as well as grown-ups. Now, what interests me about all these remarks is that the man who makes them is not merely saying that the other man's behavior does not happen to please him. He is appealing to some kind of standard of behavior for which he expects the other man to know about. And the other man very seldom replies, "To hell with your standard." Nearly always he tries to make out what he is doing, what he has been doing does not really go against the standard, or that if it does, there is some special excuse. He pretends there is some special reason in this particular case why the person who took the seat first should not keep it, or the things that were quite different when he was given a bit of orange, or that something has turned up which lets him off keeping his promise. It looks, in fact, very much as if both parties had in mind some kind of law or rule of fair play or decent behavior or morality or whatever you'd like to call it, about which they really agreed, and they have. If they had not, they might, of course, fight like animals, but they could not quarrel in a human sense of the word. Quarreling means trying to show that the other man is wrong, and that there would be no sense of trying to do that unless you and he had some sort of agreement as what was right and wrong are. Just as there would be no sense in saying that a footballer had committed a foul unless there was some agreement about the rules of football. As we always discuss, there's a reason there, and, I see where this is going, and as we finish the next few beer reviews, and we continue on, it's going to point to the fact that our sin points to the idea and the concept that a creator does exist, and a creator that sent Jesus Christ to this earth, died for our sins to save you and me. I'm not perfect, and I sin. I'm a Christian, and I know this. But I know that God died for me, died for my sins, and he covers my sins, and I believe in him. And I look at it every day, and I actually kind of similarly used an argument with this. I said that, yes, you could have seen some type of offense on my face by what someone said at work the other day. But I was happy because what they said proves that God does exist. The idea that they said something that is morally wrong to me proves that God does exist. So let us move on to this actual beer review. Today we go on with our Spring Anthology First Cut IPA. This is from that 4-pack. In that 4-pack you had 12 bottles, and you had 3 of each type. We have alcohol by volume 6.2. We have IBU 45. We have our hops right there, Comet and Simcoe. I hope you can see it. As always, on this side of the bottle, we have our government warning. We have our recycling information. And then we have our description right here. Each spring, hop growers dust off their pruning shears and trim the first shoots, bolstering the vines for a rich growing season. First cut, a mouthful of silky Simcoe and a touch of mango, is a nod to this ritual, without which the world would be a less hoppy place. First cut, the appeal right there, as I always do with the peel, it's going to be, honestly, a 6 out of 10. It's very simple. The picture appeals, and it says what it's doing. You're cutting off those hop shoots, and you're cutting off the plant in order to actually make it grow more. It's making it healthier, like that first haircut of the year after you went all winter without one. So what do I expect after the peel of score of 6? I'm hoping that I smell the mango. I'm hoping that I smell that citrusy flavor, what's inside that beer. I'm using a Duvel or Duval glass. This was given to me, so, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Let's get close into there and do that beer review pour. Look at that nice golden color. I'm trying to learn how a beer sommelier, or whatever your beer connoisseur, pours a beer the perfect way. But look at that color, look at that carbonation. Yes, you can. You can smell the citrus. And honestly, you can really smell the mango. Fun fact, I'm partially allergic to mangoes. My mouth gets itchy when I eat them, but I don't actually swell up in the throat, so I continue to eat them because they taste delicious. Let's open a good old Google. Let's go to Troegs.com. As we already stated, we are going to go there, and we're going to look at their website. Independent brewing company out of Hershey, Pennsylvania. Our beer that we just looked at before we're going to have our taste is the First Cut IPA. Where'd you go? Oddly enough, they have one on that front page that just I don't agree with, but you'll see that later. First Cut right here. Mango IPA. Website's pretty good. Troegs.com/beer/firstcut. Food notes right here. Social media right here. This beautiful golden glass right there with the actual beer in it. Got your logo right there. The First Cut explosion of the hops off that plan. The description that we already read. Information here that we already read. Let us get back to the beer review. Someday when my kids get older enough and I want them to partake in this, they will partake at their own choosing. If they decide not to, then they will decide not to. The thing about drinking responsibly and in moderation is the fact that you do not pressure someone into taking the alcohol that they don't want to take. The brewroma or aroma as it is, I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. That's very pleasing to me. So right now we're at a 14 out of 20. And I keep spitting something out. It looks like I got some of the foam on my beard. Maybe it's a time for a trim. So let's go further. A little bit bitter. Yep, you can see the foam. Maybe that'll get some people to the channel and to follow it a little bit more. Tell your friends about the channel, like, comment, subscribe to all craziness, hit the bell. If I speak a little bit too conservative, it probably will mean that I will get all the stuff taken down. But hey, I love everyone because that's what I'm called to do. It's right there again. I'm saving some for later. I'll wake up and smell like beer. Doing this whole third shift thing means right now is my nighttime. Morning is my nighttime. And then this week we really don't get much sleep because I need to make sure that my 2 oldest children are healthy and safe. End result of this is a good beer. Bitterness, I would honestly bump it up probably to around a 65. I have to learn a little bit more about that, but it's a little bit more bitter than normal. But keep in mind, I did buy this almost a month and a half, 2 months ago, and it could have changed in the fridge as it was sitting there. So, but I still think that the flavor overall, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, where it had a 6, we had an 8, and then we had an 8. We have 22 out of 30. Not a bad score. I started doing beer reviews on Castbox. It's a podcasting site. And you can go find some of the beer reviews that I did on this channel there as well. So I'm trying to figure out how do I take control of that channel, because I think someone went in and just magically downloaded the entire YouTube channel to there. So if you know what the answer is, comment below, educate me a little bit. And as always, I'd like to ask you to drink in moderation. May God bless you and your family. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you for stopping by with a Dude with a Brew. And later on this week or next week, when I have time, we're going to be releasing a channel or a season series with my kids. And it's going to have to do with cooking. And it's going to be called something similar to a Dude with a Brew, but it's going to obviously rhyme with that cooking idea. May God bless you again. Drink in moderation. Have a wonderful day, and good night.